Hey everyone, welcome back to Mike's Vinyl Experience. Thank you all so much for being with me here today. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. Today, super excited to share with you my thoughts, my review, and a quick comparison to Mobile Fidelity's most recent release on 33 RPM and SuperVinyl of the 1970 classic Santana Abraxas. So excited to share this with you. Let's go ahead and get started. Santana's second album, Abraxas, was released in 1970. Carlos Santana, one of the greatest guitarists ever to walk the planet, in my opinion. I have seen him in concert. What a wonderful opportunity. If you get the opportunity to see Carlos Santana in concert, you really must do it. He is an incredible, incredible guitarist. But this album, when it was released in 1970, reached #1 in the United States, and for obvious good reasons. I mean, O You Kama Va was one of the greatest songs ever, at least in my opinion. That was the first song that really captured my ears from the album. Of course, Black Magic Woman was the biggest hit on the album, I believe. But the entire album is quite good, with mostly musical, instrumental, I should say, type of music. Latin rock is what this would be classified as. Fantastic music, a lot of congas in the album. It is recorded, like I said, right from the start, very well. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what Mobile Fidelity has done with the latest release, 33 RPM on SuperVinyl of Santana Abraxas. The process that Mobile Fidelity has been using for the past several years has been to copy the original master tape or a one-off copy, whatever they can get that's in the best condition. They take that tape and they copy it to DSD 256 or DSD 64. And then they take that copy, that digital DSD copy, and present it to their analog console, and then they take that to lathe. Now, on this album, Craig Wunderlich and Sean Britton have been the ones doing the remastering work on this album, and I believe that they were the ones that were doing that on the 2016 release of the One-Step as well. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what Mobile Fidelity has done with this latest release of Santana Abraxas. Of course, we get a very nice gatefold jacket from Mobile Fidelity. Hope you can see that with it. I think this is one of the absolutely one of the most classic album covers of all time, at least in my opinion. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. Not that it has a naked woman on the front page of it. That's not necessarily it, but just the incredible colorfulness. It's a very striking, very unmistakable album cover, I think. I think it's one of the greatest ever done. I think it's an incredible album cover. The gatefold is very similar to the original gatefold. I hope you can see that without a whole lot of glare. Here's the back side of the album cover. Of course, we said this is 33 RPM. Craig Wunderlich doing the remastering. My number is 001638. Very nice job with the jacket, I think. Let's quickly take a look at the vinyl. As indicated, this is done on SuperVinyl. And I can attest to you, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we get into the review of the music and the sound quality. The SuperVinyl is very quiet. They do an absolute, in my opinion, excellent job with their SuperVinyl. It is really a nice format and a nice vinyl that they are using. So when I got this album earlier this week, I have been listening to it quite intently. In fact, I really got myself really acquainted with the album prior to doing any comparisons with the One-Step. And we'll talk about the SACD. The SACD actually came out when the One-Step came out in 2016. The gold CD, I believe, came out in 1991. I'll check and verify that and make sure. But up and really until the One-Step came out and the SACD, and still to this day, I've been kind of using the gold CD as really my reference for this album, because it really does sound very, very good. Let's get into the sound of Mobile Fidelity's SuperVinyl release, 33 RPM of Santana Abraxas. So I've been listening to this album for the past week. I've got to tell you, it's such a great, great album. Really, for the longest time, my go-to for this album has always been the gold CD that was released, I believe, in 91. I'll check and verify that. And really, that's been my go-to, really, I kind of up until 2016 when the One-Step came out. But now that we've got this 33 RPM, the album just flows. And if you know this album really at all, you know that the album has a flow to it. I mean, it really and truly does. One song leads into another, starting off with the very first song on side one, Singing Winds and Crying Winds, really a combination of a couple of songs there. We're just going to call it the one song, Singing Winds and Crying Winds. The detail on the 33 RPM SuperVinyl is spectacular on this cut. It sounds absolutely wonderful. From top to bottom, extension is excellent. There's nothing that's gone over the top. There's nothing that's shrill. It sounds very precise. It sounds very natural. It sounds actually excellent. This song really moves right into Black Magic Woman. And that transition is just really part of the hallmark, I think, of the album, especially the music on side one. Kind of one song kind of flows to another, which is such a really neat thing, in my opinion. On Black Magic Woman, second song on side one, Carlos Santana's guitar is super clean, super well detailed, very upfront and presented. Not that it's out of balance with the rest of the instruments. Drums, congas, keyboards, bass, all sound absolutely fantastic with stunningly very nice detail and depth and weight, in particular in that bottom end. Very, very nice song. Probably their best song on the album. Probably their most widely most widely known song on the album for sure. And it's a favorite by all, including me. Moving right on from Black Magic Woman, it goes really right into O You Come Ava, which is, I think, a fantastic song. I like it a little bit better than Black Magic Woman, but that's me. Super great song. Congas and percussion at the opening of this song is stunning. It just sounds so good on the Mobile Fidelity. They've done just a fantastic job of capturing the naturalness of the sound of the congas and the percussion. Great detail and clarity on Santana's guitar. It's very clean, it's very focused. Keyboards, the organ in particular, sounds absolutely wonderful on this song. Moving to song 4 on side 1, the last song on side 1, I think this song is the absolute best song on the album, and I'll tell you why. The name of the song is Incident at Neshabar, and I'm probably pronouncing that incorrect, but Incident at Neshabar, I think, is the absolute best song on the album. The instruments, the playing of the musicians is simply stunning on this, and it is captured so very, very well on the Mobile Fidelity 33 RPM that's just been released on SuperVinyl. The drums on this track are just simply excellent. They just sound excellent in their presentation. Proper weight, proper detail. Extension on the bottom end is very, very nice. The organ is also well detailed with good upper end extension without going over the top by any means. Percussion and congas sound great. Santana's guitar is like it is really on the entire album, super well defined and clean and crisp and clear. Really, the reason I think this is the best song is because it's mostly an instrumental, mostly because Every instrument on here you can hear in detail. There's fine layering with each one of the instruments, at least to me. I just can't begin to, this is actually, in my opinion, Incident and Neshabar, this is a demo-worthy track if you're evaluating audio equipment, because you're getting definition, you're getting top to bottom on everything, and it's so very well recorded and so very well represented here on this album. Really, this song is the one that I really used in particular as I did the comparison to the 2016 One-Step. This song is just stunning. If you've not heard it, if you're not familiar with it, please vet it out and listen to it. I know you've all heard Black Magic Woman, Oh You Come Ava. Everyone's heard those songs. They're great. They're fantastic. But really, the last song on side one, Incident Neshabar, please vet it out and listen to it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Fantastic, fantastic song. Okay, flipping over the album to side two. Say a Cabo. Fun song with great musicianship from the band. Carlos' guitar along with the congas sound absolutely superb. Excellent detail and depth on this song. Second song on side two, Mother's Daughter. Another great, really jamming track. Excellent vocals. This is probably the song that has the clearest, most well-defined vocals to me on this album. The vocals on this album are really the star, the vocals on this song, Mother's Daughter, is absolutely really excellent. The vocals are very strikingly clean, clear, and extraordinarily well detailed. Guitar along with the bass and the drums and percussions all sound very, very excellent, very well balanced. It's a super presentation, really another one of the great songs on the album. Samba Pati, third song on side two. Excellent track, great guitar work by Carlos along with keyboards and percussion. This is really another good demo track. It's a more laid back track. It's not really a jamming track necessarily, but it's a really, really good track. Excellent for demoing audio equipment, in my opinion. At least it's another one of those great songs on the album. Fourth song on side two, Hope You're Feeling Better. Really a fun song. Great opening to this song with the organ and drums. You got to hear this. It really sounds great, in particular on the Super Vinyl. It's a great, great album. Great song. Guitar, once again, Carlos's guitar always sounds great throughout the entire album. Excellent detail. Percussion is also excellent. Nicoya, the last song on side two, extremely well defined and well detailed congas. The percussion as well is extremely excellent in detail. Drums are excellent with super clean and excellent definition. They even have really good weight on this song. It's a short song, but it's a very, very good song. Yet I think another song that could be used to demonstrate as a demo type song to demonstrate particular audio qualities of audio systems, I think. Conclusion on the Mobile Fidelity 33 RPM Super Vinyl that's just been released. It's fantastic. It sounds absolutely excellent. A great, great album. I think MOFI, Sean Bitton and Eric Wunderlich, I think they've done a great job. Craig Wunderlich, not Eric, did a great job with this album. I think it sounds excellent. Being it readily available, it's a great opportunity to pick up an unbelievably excellent sounding version of this album. I don't know if this is limited in numbers. I know they are numbered, but I don't know that there's any limit to it. I'm not really sure about that. I don't think there is. I think it's just being released on 33 RPM and Super Vinyl, and I don't think there's a limited number, which is a good thing. This is a great album, absolutely worthy of the $60 cost that it is for such a classic 1970 album, one of the most iconic albums, not only by Santana, but really of the 1970s. Excellent, excellent song. Highly, highly recommended. So how does the 2024 SuperVinyl cut at 33 RPM mobile fidelity version of Santana Abraxas compare to the 2016 mobile fidelity one-step version of Santana Abraxas? The one-step is a dual 45 RPM version of the album. According to the Mobile Fidelity website, the analog master tape was copied to DSD-64, then to the analog console, then to lathe, somewhat similar, I guess, or very similar to the process that the 33 RPM was done. I guess the real big question is, and I really don't know what the answer of it is, was it the same DSD-64 file used for the 2016 one-step? I don't really know. Well, how do they compare in sound quality? And this is really something that I not necessarily was expecting, because if you really consider and think about, is it the same DSD-64 file that was used? I'm not really sure. And I just was expecting something a little bit different. But in comparing the two, the 2016 one-step is noticeably better than the 33 RPM. And really what is immediate when I say that, or at least when you're listening, is the bottom end of the one-step. It's not overdone by any means, shape, or form. It is just finer detail, has a little bit more authoritative bottom end, giving you the sense of a more fuller, impactful sound. And I've got to be honest with you, it's quite noticeable. I really wasn't expecting it to be, but it really and truly is. My notes when I was doing the comparison, the instruments seem to have more impact and detail on the one-step. Overall, from top to bottom, the one-step is absolutely stunning and it's extremely involving. Nothing is over the top from top to bottom on the one-step. Not that it is on the 33 RPM, it is not. But there is just more detail, more air around instruments, if you will, on the one-step. And really, when you get right down to it, the presentation on the one-step is simply, I call it state-of-the-art, because it is simply amazing in its sound. I really think, in fact, to me, the one-step is a reference quality album. It just simply sounds amazing. And that's saying a lot, because the 33 RPM that's just released is so good. And it is excellent. But in all honesty, and in my comparison, and I tell you what, I went back and forth several different times, because the first time that I did the comparison, it was very noticeable, like right now, noticeable, when you put the one-step on in comparison to 33 RPM. So I really took my time, went back and forth. No, it wasn't blind. I didn't do a blind test. I knew what I was listening to when I was listening. But still, it was strikingly different. And it wasn't very hard to detail that. It really wasn't hard to hear it. And I guess that's really kind of the unique thing about it. Simply when you really think about it, was it sourced from the same DSD-64 file? I don't know. Digital's digital, right? I don't know if it was or not. All I can say, and is the 45 RPM, is that making up the difference? I can't even imagine that the 45 RPM would be that much of a difference. And maybe it is, and maybe that's the difference. To conclude the comparison, I would definitely prefer the one-step sound quality over the 33 RPM 2024 version. But having said that, the differences are there, they are noticeable. But to be honest with you, the 33 RPM is absolutely wonderful. It's an excellent, excellent album. I would certainly have no problem taking this as using as a demo album, in particular 2 or 3 of the songs on the album, to audition new audio equipment. It's recorded that well, it's done that well, it is presented that well. I really, really think they've done a great job, as have Mobile Fidelity, in producing this 33 RPM super vinyl version of the album. Highly, highly recommended. Really quickly, the SACD version, which was released in 2016 along with the One-Step, is an absolute wonderful, is still available today, absolutely wonderful sounding SACD. It's a dual layer CD, SACD, absolutely wonderful sounding. If you happen to have one of the original 1991 gold compact discs of the album, it sounds phenomenal. This is really the one that I go to when I want to hear the album completely without turning any albums over. If I want to sit down and listen to it, the gold CD is the one that I go to. Not saying necessarily that it's any better than the SACD, but to me, I just really enjoy the gold CD, because I've had it for quite some time, since it came out, and go to it quite often when I want to listen to the album entirety and not wanting to get up and turn the album over. But boy, now that we got this album, I tell you what, it sounds great. I would take the album version over the SACD any day of the week. It sounds that good. I think they've done a phenomenal job in reproducing this album. Absolutely excellent sounding version of a classic 1970 Santana Abraxas release. Highly, highly recommended. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you like what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. Many more videos coming out. In fact, the very next one, we're going to be talking about the new speakers that I have purchased for my audio room. Yes, I have made a decision, and I have put a deposit down, and I am working at getting those new speakers. So excited to share that information with you, plus many, many more coming out. Please leave comments in the comment section below. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for being with me here today.